What we have in the book of Job is we have essentially this narrative of Satan and God having, well, some people might call it a bet, a dare. Here's this righteous man, and Satan challenging his integrity, saying basically he's righteous because you treat him so well, and God allowing him permission to wreak havoc upon his life. And so you have a series of catastrophe upon catastrophe upon catastrophe. God just draws the line in his life. Uh, Job doesn't know anything of the heavenly background. He just knows that he's been living a good and honest life, and all of a sudden, literally all hell breaks loose. And we see a man who's going through the absolute agony of losing everything. Possessions, wealth, status, um, his family, his sons, his daughters, ultimately his health, and he's left kind of in the shards of his life, the debris of his life. He's just kind of left sitting there, scraping these pus-filled boils, and wondering why. So all of us can relate to the story, relate to the question. In my own personal journey, having been in ministry for several decades. Coming into that out of my youth, where I watched my mom die of cancer, and found myself with the same genetic condition that she did, being operated on in time, but yet still kind of living with that because it's not resolved. It's something they have to go back in and check, and so forth. And so living with that, and then having kids, and having 4 of the 5 of our kids having the same genetic condition, watching them go through surgeries, and then to see something else on the horizon with our 15-year-old daughter Hannah. At that point, this was back in 2006. It ended up being a brain tumor that was located right at right in the brain stem, and we really just caught it barely in time. They were able to do surgery, and she's having to relearn how to talk, how to walk, how to eat, even how to breathe. And I mean, she's in the hospital for 66 days. We watch her going through the therapy, and we realize, this isn't this isn't like how we're spending a summer. We begin to realize this could be how we're spending. We could be spending a year. We could be spending 5 years. We could be spending the rest of our lives. We realized at that point we just stepped into to the unknown, and you have all those questions of why, and just the angst. And we're still walking this out as she's dealing with. She's still in a wheelchair, and we've got her using a walker, and we have no idea where this is going, and what the end of this is. So we're left with unresolved. We're left with these unresolved issues, and I remember thinking. Just earlier this year, we're like 3 years out now from that surgery, and just vivid picture of when, last time I remember her actually running to me, and that's in my head, and it's like, God, if she could just walk, if she could just run to me again like that. I'm not gonna say God said this, but it was like, this is what I heard in my spirit, and that is okay. So she can walk, so she can run. What then? What's the next thing that you want? And and I realized, well, gosh, it's not like I want another. What's the next trick and so forth. And I realized that yeah, we could have that restored. We could have her running. We could have her walking on her own, be free of the wheelchair and the walker. But we're still living on this planet. We're still living in this place, the same place where Job suffered. And it just brings you back to this place of trust. Okay, Lord, I'm going to shut my mouth and let your will be done. Give us grace to be able to handle this. And yes, it would be great if she could walk, but my life doesn't hinge on the circumstance changing. We kind of deal with circumstances as it comes, and Lord, I just pray for the grace to be able to hold on to you, and to be able to hold on to my family, to be able to hold on to solid friends, and to be there for those friends. And I think walking through suffering like this, it does, it really does do something in you that wouldn't happen otherwise. You end up not being so quick to answer when people are saying why. You learn how to suffer with other people. You know how to really empathize with them in their pain. And I think that's ultimately where Job ended up. I think he got a wonderful little bonus at the end of his life after he had passed the test, held to his integrity before God. He was given a new family. He was given double of everything he'd had before. And I think he looked at that rather than saying, wow, I finally made it. I've gained everything back and more. I think at that point he was able to look at it and say, thank you, Lord. Let me hold to my integrity with all of this new stuff in this season, as much as I had been able to hold on to it when I lost everything. Because it's not about what you have or what you don't have. It's about knowing who you are, where you are, and who it is that you're walking with.